Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be playing PC Building Simulator. In between the last day of class and the first day of finals, and I just want to take a break for a minute, take my mind off of things, and just play some PC Building Simulator, which is what I usually do whenever I want to get my mind off of things. I usually jump into a simulator, and since I recently built a PC, I'll go over the specs in the video as we're building a computer. I felt like playing this game just because I can play it on my PC now versus playing it on the Switch. But we're just going to go into free build here. I don't have any of the DLCs or anything like that, but hopefully eventually I will. But for now, we're going to go with the basic little setup here. And I'm going to try to build the fastest PC I possibly can and try to see how fast I can build it and how expensive it's going to get. Now, I know it's free build, and you can see here I was already building a computer here. I'm just going to go ahead and pick this computer up and put it away. And like I said, I like to just jump into this game every once in a while and play to get my mind off of things. But let's go ahead and pick a computer here. Let's go jump into our inventory. I'm going to go ahead and pick our case first. I was thinking of going with something along the lines of the Cooler Master H500P, which is one of my favorite PC cases besides the Cosmos. Kind of liking this one right here. There's nothing different between all of those, but I like this one. Go ahead and set that up there. Nice side panels. And it is an MSI case. I'm going to go ahead and just start removing things. It's got these really nice case fans there. We're going to be building this as a Threadripper. I'm going to go ahead and jump into CPU and processors. And I'm going to go ahead and search Threadripper. TR4. And let's go with 32 cores at the highest. I know they're working on a 64 core. I think they already came out with it, but here in the game, highest we can do is 32 cores. And actually, before I do that, I better get a motherboard out here. So TR4. Let's see, which one are we gonna be doing? Let's go with the MSI, just because it's an MSI case. I have all the little tools set up so that it automatically does everything for me, just because I don't want to be sitting here and clicking around trying to screw everything in. But go ahead and open that up. Let's install our processor. Again, it's a TR4 Threadripper, 32 cores. Drop that into there like so. Now, before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and install some thermal paste. There we go. No, I won't forget. And getting in here closer, I'm going to go ahead and... Not yet. Let me open up these little clips here so we can install our RAM. We're going to go ahead and populate every single channel. Now, originally I was going to go for like higher memory count, but instead this time I'm going to go with the max speed and fill it up like that. So the max speed is 3600 megahertz. Go ahead and jump into memory there. 3600 megahertz. And let's see what the highest capacity is here. I think it's just going to be 8 gigabytes. Which, to be fair, is perfectly fine. We're going to be doing a lot of RAM in here. I didn't really exactly count how many sticks of RAM, but they're all 8 gigabytes, and I'm going to try to see if I can find some GeForce, because that's what my computer currently has. I did get some GeForce Team Group VULCAN RAM, and it's a 3200 megahertz speed. I think it's this one here. Let's go for it. Why not? Go ahead and drop that in like that. I'm still getting used to the key bindings, just because I'm not used to this PC building simulator on the computer. I'm used to playing it on the Switch. There we go. We populated all our DIMM slots there. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for my graphics card, and I'm gonna go with a RTX, whatever the highest one is in the game. There's a lot of things in the PC version that is not available in the Switch version, which is another reason why I kind of wanted to play it on here. Here you do get the RTX graphics cards, and if I type in RTX, we should scroll down here and see the fastest one is actually, no, it's not the Zotac one. I'm going to go ahead and chipset NVIDIA GeForce series RTX 3000, and that should just give me these two here. 24 gigabytes. I think I'm going to build a faster computer than I did the one before, which was the one you guys saw when you started the game. Anyway, this one here is 1785 megahertz, 1725. Let's go with this one. Why not? Alright, that one's in there. I think it should be these two for the next slot. Go ahead and jump into graphics cards again. There we go. Perfect. Now, in terms of memory, I think I'm going to have to remove these just because I think there is an M.2 slot, and in this game, it actually does matter if you install an M.2 SSD. It boots faster. I could go with a 512 gig and get us RGB. I think actually I'm not going to do that. It's going to be covered by all of the PCI Express graphics cards. Go ahead and put another one down here because this is the over-the-top build. I'm going to go ahead and try to populate everything I can in this build. So one is 1 terabyte, so we're going to go ahead and remove that and put in that 2 terabyte. There we go, that looks nice. Now let's go ahead and install our RTX graphics cards. So RTX 3000 series. There we go, this one here is the one we were looking at originally. Drop that into there just like that. Very nice. Actually, I think I might have to remove it again just because I want to put an SSD in there. Like I said, it's an over-the-top computer build, so I want to populate every little thing here. What am I doing? I'm going to storage. There we go. Do SSD. Not that one, not that one. And we just size type SSD. There we go. Again, over the top, so we're going to pick the highest capacity. I think it's 1 terabyte there. Terabyte. Let's see if we can get one with RGB lighting. The HyperX Furies do, and there is a 1 terabyte version there, but so GeForce has their own there too, 1 terabyte. So let's do those, just because I think it's going to look cool. And yes, just as I suspected, we're going to have to remove our graphics card there. So no, not that one. Course, terabyte, drop that guy into there. We'll get back to the graphics card in just a second. I think 1 terabyte, is it the biggest? Yes, it is, sadly. This one's pretty cool. I think I'm going to do that one instead. Drop that guy into there. That guy, not that it matters back here, no one's going to see it. But we will know it's there, and we'll appreciate it that way. So, again, like I said, over the top. Let's see, fits this PC? Okay, that's checked. I don't think they make mechanical hard drives with RGB, but if they did, I'm sure it would go into this computer. So, hard drive there. Size, minimum. Let's do 3 terabytes. And there's a 4 terabyte Barracuda. And my computer has a 2 terabyte Barracuda that I use for my storage. There's a lot of glow. I didn't really realize how much of a graphics improvement it was going to be to just play this game on the PC. But I mean, what else did I expect? PC games tend to be a lot better than on any other console, except we play them on said consoles just for the sake of convenience. But in this case, we're not dealing with convenience. We're dealing with graphical fidelity. And I'm loving it. There we go. We installed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 4 is 24 terabytes of hard drive storage on top of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terabytes of SSD storage with... Actually, no, it's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 terabytes overall of SSD storage with 6 terabytes of NVMe level storage. So that's kind of cool. Now, speaking of cool, how are we going to cool this computer? I don't know. I think I'm going to go with a closed loop water cooler. So let's go to CPU cooling. Type liquid cooler. Kind of like the NZXT coolers that have this one here. The Kraken. Those are really nice. I'm going to have to remove this top panel here. Now, in my computer, I did install a Ryzen 7 2700X processor with a Ryzen Prism cooler. I forgot what it's called, Wrath Prism. A pretty good little cooler there. made by Cooler Master, and it is RGB, which looks very nice, and very nice computer. I did put a for the graphics card. I did install a GTX 1560 or 1650 graphics card. It was originally meant for my dad's computer, but for some reason his computer didn't want it. RTX 3000. His computer didn't want it because it needed BIOS updates, and his BIOS is a Intel desktop board, so it didn't really no longer supported. So I didn't really use it for very long. So eventually I came along to the ability to build my own computer, and then that's what I used. But I know eventually I'll upgrade to something better, perhaps maybe a 1660 Super, a 1660 Ti, or when the 20 series RTX cards drop in price, or even the 30 series, I'll probably end up putting one of those in there too. And let's go ahead and see wattage. For minimum, let's go with 1500. It's a little bit of overkill in terms of wattage, but again, like I mentioned, the overkill computer. So let's go ahead and install our cables here. Now, in case you didn't catch that at first, I did say that I was I'm using the all the little tools that this game has, like auto cable and auto connect and stuff like that, just because it makes it easy on me while I'm building here, so the video doesn't get too long. Keep in mind how many things I'm connecting here, so imagine I have to go into the hard drive and then connect to the motherboard. Oh man. Our overkill computer is gonna be not so overkill. I have to remove that SSD and that SSD. One here. Actually, I'm just gonna leave that one there, just because I ran out of space on my actual power supply. I don't have any more space for anything like that, so let's go ahead and do cables again. Plug that in there, plug that in like so. At least we get to power our graphics cards, which I'm very happy about. That goes in like that. I'm just gonna go ahead and ignore that there. Actually, it's not gonna let me. It's gonna bug me, missing cables and stuff. I'm just gonna go ahead and remove it outright. There we go. Put that guy back in there. 3 is gonna be the key to activate the cable management. Actually, it looks kind of horrible, but I guess it's supposed to be over the top. Go ahead and connect this fan here. I don't know why I connected these, because I'm gonna be upgrading these. These are 120mm fans, and I think this case should support 140mm fans. We'll see. Case fans, let's do 40. Do 140 minimum. RGB. Airflow, I think 75 is the max. But I mean, they are 140mm, so that should be okay. I'm gonna go with probably the Corsair HD 140s. These are 74 cubic feet per meter or whatever. 74 is the highest. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. And it does support it. My case, like I said, it's a Cooler Master case, or MasterBox Lite 5, and it has 3 140mm fans on the front with addressable RGBs. One thing I didn't notice when I ordered the case was the bad reviews it has because of airflow. And honestly, the way I've been able to get around that is just by opening the side panel and letting air in. But yes, I do notice that there is restricted airflow. So if you're looking into getting that case, I would suggest looking for something else. Anyway, I think we're done here. I'm going to go ahead and piece everything back together now and make sure everything works. And we should be done with our overkill computer. Now, there we go. Our computer's finally done, and one oversight on my part is not noticing that the front panel is actually solid, so we won't be able to see the RGB cables. Or not the RGB cables, but the RGB fans. But I guess that's okay. Should be able to see them from the inside. I don't think I can replace the fans on the cooler there, but I think we're done here. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in a USB. And tools, software, USB drive in there. Let's go ahead and power it on, pressing the P key. I'm not going to be doing any sort of overclocking or anything like that. Everything's going to be running stock, except the RAM here, which I am going to see if I can... I cannot overclock. That's weird. Usually, like, in reality, and I did this too with my own PC, is my board is a B550 from Gigabyte, and I went in here and disabled XMP, which meant the RAM was able to run at its full capacity of 3200. Motherboards tend to underclock, so if you want to overclock a little bit, one thing you can do is jump into here and disable the XMP or enable it. But for some reason in here it's not letting me. I guess that's okay. Let's go ahead and just continue. There we go. As you can see, I did boot into a fresh copy of Omega OS here. We're going to run 3D Disk Mark, and you can see it's pretty fast if you do install in NVMe SSD. It does matter, both in reality and here. And OCCT, I think that's going to be everything. And let's do park ranking as well. And there we go. We're going to go ahead and run OCCT and see if we are thermal throttling. I'm going to leave it on infinite. You can see here CPU throttling is at no right now because we aren't doing anything. So we're going to go ahead and click no and just let this do its thing. While it's doing its thing though, I'm going to go ahead and jump into lighting here and just select everything. Slow down the RGB just a tad. And let's do rainbow. And we jump into here. Oh, I think I forgot to connect the fans in the front. Yeah, I think it should be throttling. Actually, it's not. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, turn it off, and jump back into here. It is going to affect the CPU temps if you do not turn on your front fans. So might as well do that. We saw it was at 75 degrees here on the CPU cooler, so we'll see what difference it makes once we have all our fans plugged in. Big oversight on my behalf, and believe me, I wouldn't do that in real life. Although when I did build my computer, the motherboard that I picked didn't have enough fan headers, so I had to order a fan hub before that came in. I only had the front fans connected and the back fan was off. I try not to do much. I got an achievement. I need to plug it in. I did, when I first built a computer like this, I did get an achievement called Will It Run Crisis. But honestly, I think we should change that now with the release of Cyberpunk 2077. It should be Will It Run Cyberpunk, because from what I've seen, it's a very difficult game to run even on 30 series graphics cards. Turning on RTX or ray tracing, it does seem to show a significant hit on frame rates, even on the latest graphics cards. And we can see here we're doing a 68, 67. That was down from 75 with the fans off, so it does make a difference. I always think it's kind of cool how the developers of this game actually paid so much attention to detail when it came to temperatures and stuff like that. Now, in reality, the NZXT Kraken is one of my favorite coolers, and I wish I would have had the money and the budget to actually have this installed in my current computer, just because I love that I can always like glance over and look at the temperatures. You do have that little dot there which moves around based on the temperature. If you're nice and cool, it's going to be here, but if you're running hot, it'll be over here in the pink. But I think we have a little too much RGB, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it down a notch. There we go. That should be a lot better. I'm only going to run this test. Actually, I've been running him for about a minute, though. And no CPU throttling, so that's good. Alright, so let's go ahead and run 3D Mark Advanced Edition. Click run, let that do its thing. Now, I remember when this game first came out, you can just double press the escape key and it would finish the test results there, but I guess it's no longer a thing. They probably ended up fixing it, but I'll just let this run and do its thing while we take a look at the computer. And honestly, it looks very nice. I'm going to go ahead and turn off all these lights here. Not that it's going to do anything, but that's what it looks like there. Very nice. I do like how the RGB lights peek through that little vents there. And according to the retail value number here, it's an $8,000 computer. We're running MSI X399 Gaming Pro Carbon motherboard with an AMD Ryzen Threadripper 2990WX. For power supply, we have a Corsair AX 1600i, 1500 watts of power, team group memory, and we have 8 sticks of that. Do we really have 8, or is that all? Yeah, we have 8. So 64 gigabytes, about 64 gigs of RAM, 48 gigabytes of graphics power, or graphics memory, and a bunch of terabytes worth of memory. And we can see here our 3D mark is at 24,084, with our graphics test having about 180 FPS, and our CPU having about 37 FPS, 38. Very nice. And that's going to do it right about now. We just finished building our supercomputer, the most extreme computer that I can build, and we can see our cooler's doing a nice 35 degrees Celsius. Very good, even after running 3D Mark. I don't know how accurate this would be in real life, but it's a game. It's a simulator. I like to have some fun every once in a while and distract from whatever's going on in my life. And at this point, it's final exams looming over the corner next week. But hopefully, if you like this video, I'll bring more of these back. I'll try to film as many videos as I can in terms of gaming during my winter vacation. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all for watching. See you all in the next video.